Hello everyone, welcome to Codeover Day 16 and Anypoint Code Builder GA is here. Awesome. But no content about Anypoint Code Builder just yet. For now, let me show you how to debug 3 applications at the same time, the same 3 applications that we've been doing for the last 3 videos, I think. Xcodeover, Scodeover, Pcodeover, we're gonna do those. So first of all, let's open our main flow. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here in the set payload so I can see once they get to that. Scodeover doesn't have any changes because we're not calling anything else besides that. And Pcodeover is calling Scodeover. So we're gonna add the breakpoint right there on those 3. And now, if you go to run and then select debug configurations, same as we did with the run configurations, but now debug configurations. Oh, it's actually the same one. Oh, perfect. So yeah, we're just gonna select this, but there is a difference. Let me make this smaller so you can see. Right here, it says debug instead of run. So we're gonna click on that, or I guess we can also click here. So if we see this beautiful small icon of a debug, here's the run that we have been running. It says run Codeover Suite. We can also select on debug Codeover Suite. So let's select on that. And now it's asking me if I want to change my perspective to see the Mule debug perspective. I'm going to select yes, because it just makes it easier for me, at least, to understand what's happening. All right, so this is deployed, and these 3 are just waiting for this breakpoint to be reached. So now let's call, first let's do a test. Why not? Let's call localhost 8083 just to see. So this is gonna continue processing, and we have reached the breakpoint. Let me make this bigger. Maybe you can see this better. Yes. Here on the top, you will be able to see the payload and stuff like that. But right now, I just want to do this really quick so we can move on. And yes, this is pretty much how you debug. And now you can click here. There is a next processor button at the top. So you can click on that to go step by step. It's gonna go to the logger and then it's gonna output. So we can see here in the console that the logger was run and it says inside the system layer, or you can't because there's my frame. But if we go back here, we can see inside the system layer. So now, for example, if I call localhost 8082, it's gonna come first to Pcodeover, where we have the set payload. And then if we continue moving, it's gonna set this up. You can also see here payload equals inside the process layer. And then it's gonna try to call Scodeover. So once it calls Scodeover, it's gonna come here to the Scodeover flow. Payload right now is empty, but now it's gonna set the payload as inside the system layer, goes to the logger, and gets out. And yes, right now I got an error saying timeout exceeded, as you can see here. I don't know if you can read that, but it says failed because the timeout exceeded, because we have a very small timeout because we don't want these things to happen. So we can also change those in the properties. Let's just click here on resume to just get out of here, and we will get 500 server error saying that the timeout was exceeded. All right, now if we want to go back to the original view, you have to click here. There are 3 buttons up here. This is the Mule debug, this is the Mule design, and this is the API design. So if you were to design an API specification, this is where you would see it better. Let's just go to Mule design to go back to the view that we had before. So here, when we are doing the request, if you select it, you will be able to see here in the properties that there is a response part. Well, I cannot put it here, but there's a response right here, there. And then there's a response timeout right here. So here we are gonna put a property. In this case, we're gonna call that HTTP request timeout. Copy that, save that. And now let's go to the properties. It's gonna be here. This is gonna be, let's say, 120 1000 milliseconds, which makes it 2 minutes. I feel like that's good enough. Oh, but wait, this is for dev. Well, never mind. For dev, let's make it, yeah, 3000 sounds fair. Sorry, 30,000 sounds fair. Perfect. So now in local is where we are gonna put the 120,000. So now let's copy that into also Xcodeover so we can also have it there. And of course, make sure to put that in the response timeout as well. All right, so let's debug this once again. All right, it's running. And now let's just run this from 8081 test. So Xcodeover, we get to the Xcodeover flow, payload is empty. If we click on the next processor, now we have inside the experience layer. Let's just hope everything works now. We're calling the Picotover, and now we are inside the Picotover flow. We are setting the payload, so after we set the payload, now this says inside the process layer. Then we continue and we call Scotover, which is just gonna set the payload to inside the system layer. And that's it, we're pretty much done. It got out, and now we can see that we are inside the system layer. All right, the last thing that I want to show you is to deploy this to Cloud Hub to actually see this working and make sure that all of our dev parameters are, or configurations or properties or whatever, are set up correctly. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, I promise, last day that we talk about this, and then we can jump into ACB stuff. So tomorrow, let's go ahead and do the deployment to Cloud Hub and check this out. All right, that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow and the rest of the month for Codetober 2023. Bye!